Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a new episode of Transport. No, not Transport, sorry. Railway Empire, not Transport Fever. I finished that one. Um, what I'm going to do today is trying to complete some of the tasks, although seeing them may be hard to do. I can start with this one, maybe. I can start with that one, maybe. Some of the other things, like 10 different goods available, will be hard. But there's something I learned in my private game the other day, and there is a way to set up the range of what your trains and where your trains can transport. Like passengers, if I pick Amsterdam, you see all those arrows right away. If I click at the city, as you can see, there's a yellow circle right now. This is the default setting. Click at the city to get a yellow circle, which is actually meaning that everything is locked. Now, from Amsterdam, you see all those arrows going out. To the cities it can actually reach, which means, as you can see, the maximum here is Paris. That means, and that's a very nice thing to know, that my passengers will travel from Amsterdam to Paris. That's it. If they want to go beyond, it won't be on a train traveling from Paris, from Amsterdam. They have to switch trains. That also means that if I want to set up a route, I can Amsterdam, Eindhoven, Brussels, Lille, Paris, or Paris. From there over to Rennes, Nancy, Luxembourg, and then off to Worms, Frankfurt. No, I leave that. So basically, the southern route is Amsterdam. I'm going to use the Dutch words, the local language one. Amsterdam, Eindhoven, Brussels, Lille, Paris, Rennes, Nancy, Letzenberg. Back to Brussels, Eindhoven, Amsterdam. And, of course, in reverse, Amsterdam, Eindhoven, Brussels, Letzenburg, Nancy, Rennes, Paris, Lille, Brussels, Eindhoven, Amsterdam. So I can set up a whole circular route up here. Crap, I forgot something. Stop. I forgot to start the timer. Never mind. So I can set up a whole circular route over there, visiting all the cities I want to be in, and that's it. Now, with that in mind, I can also set up a route Amsterdam, Eindhoven, Köln, Worms, Frankfurt, Kassel, Gütersloh, Hanover, Hamburg, Bremen, Groningen, Amsterdam, and vice versa. Which means if I have passengers who want to travel to Berlin, that at some point I have to make a switch. Same thing up here in France. If I switch to Paris, every southern route from France is traveling Paris, Caen, Rennes, Nantes, La Rochelle, Limoges, Clermont-Ferrand, Lyon, Dijon, Nancy, Rennes, Auxerre, and Orléans, and Tours. Sorry. So I can actually, by knowing what my how the cities will be, determine where my hub city will going to be. For the eastern part, I will most likely put it up in Hanover, because from Hanover, setting up a track Bremen, Hamburg, Schwerin, Stettin, Berlin, Magdeburg, Dresden, Weimar, Nuremberg, Worms, Frankfurt. So Köln, I can actually start working at where do I want my hub to be. Now, one of my tasks, and we can leave that for a moment, one of my tasks is to get 38% of Walter Payon's company, but the other one is transporting Paris and Auxerre. Walter Payong is, if I'm not mistaken, here in the north. So I know Amsterdam, oh no, that. Amsterdam, further out I go is Hamburg. That's the farthest. From Hamburg, I go into Denmark up to Halmstad. That means that I can basically go over to Copenhagen and perhaps after getting into Scania, go to Halmstad, drop a station here and beat the crap out of the guy. That's one thing. The other thing, if I start setting up everything in Paris, as you can see, there are already two cities, Nantes and La Rochelle, which are up to the point where I can get with my trains. Currently my competition is here. My competitor isn't there, so there's something I need to do about that. But I do know because of that I have to take shares in her company and in his company, and eventually in his too. Since he is the one on the task, I will focus on him up to the 38% while also trying to get that done. Now, with all of that done, last episode I bought the Brussels area. I don't have the money yet, but my first job so that's the official note from Dynamite. This is gonna be about I got the longest track at the moment, and those two are just some of those were semi joking. It's maybe a real joke, real events that actually happened, turned to a joke, whatever. There's the other one. As you can see, so with that done and the train's running already, my first goal is to get the sugar in the pit, because Eindhoven and Amsterdam both require sugar. What actually all cities do, if you can't see. Eindhoven got it by cart, Amsterdam got nothing. Brussels got nothing, so I can set up a route picking up the sugar here and supplying Amsterdam, another one for Eindhoven and another one for Brussels. That is if trains arrive at stations. This one is probably off to yeah, does it? I don't know. Okay, Jan says no picking up corn. Okay, here we go. This I have to keep in mind. Here's another thing when I try to build, because those are the first things we see. We see this red square, but there's nothing else to do around it. Not green circle, sorry, red circle, no green circle, but all those little symbols. This will become material we can use later. The same thing happens over here. My guess, because I'm not certain, this is probably iron, and this is for certain oil. So I have to keep that in mind as well. There are more spots. Let's see, one over here. You can see dark. My guess, this is cement. We have certain spots where that shows up. Another one over here, also iron. So I will very certainly drop a station in between, so I can benefit from both goods. Some of the goods are actually, there's another one, cement. Some of the goods are pretty hidden actually. We've got one here, beacon. That's oil. We've got one here, too. That's also cement. We had a few in France too. Don't see them. Yeah, up here near the nose. Iron. Oil. Cement. Another iron. So we will get use of the coal at some point as well. Anyway, my plan is to drop a station. Ah, got one thing. That's the passenger station. I got problems with my mouse control. It keeps zooming in and out quite often without me wanting that. So let's see. I'll build it like this. Doesn't have to take a second. No, I'm also going to use something else. Another trick I used before. Somewhere over there. Go to Brussels, from Brussels to Lille. From Lille to Paris. Yeah. So this one fits. this. That means I need to get the angle right. Something like that. Now, usually, this building, this is track 2, this is track 1. I'm going to change something. I'm going to move that 4 tracks. This is actually becoming track number 2. I have to look at guidelines for a moment. Doesn't look that bad. Just a little bit. And I have a reason for that. I will explain that later. It means I have to pay a lot more, which is a disadvantage. First is coming over here, the second is coming. First is coming here, second is here. I need one step to pay for that. Maybe it is a good idea. After all, check and lower thing some points. Doesn't do much good except I have to pay a little bit more, which I don't want. So let's go. 178,000. That's going to take a while. Fortunately, we're going to return the funds fast. As soon as I got the connection, things are going better. Maybe I should have set a goal. My goal for today, let's say that connect to Brussels is my goal. 1% in stock of my task. Let's see how things are going. Also, in general, first year is the hardest. Goal here, at least that, so I got 5% discount on prices. Maybe getting the butler or the warehouse. The warehouse is a mechanic I don't want to use. There's a reason for it. And that reason is that a warehouse is actually not a warehouse. Now, speaking of contradictions, the warehouse in this game, for the time being, for the time being, I can sell lesbian Amsterdam. The warehouse in this game is a distribution center. Nothing more, nothing less. If I use a warehouse, for instance, to supply cities with cloth from Amsterdam, I would put it here, Janssen train station. What happens is that a train designated to transport cloth, that's for convenience already add Brussels to my network. So I have, yes, I have 2 trains coming in, one from Brussels, one from Amsterdam, who will transport cloth to to Janssen train station. The moment that train departs from Brussels or Amsterdam, the cloth which is being transported is already assigned to a city. So that means that any cloth designated for Groningen and Eindhoven are already assigned to those two cities even before it arrives in the warehouse. So I can stockpile 6 goods in the warehouse, and any train dumping the goods in can pick up. So the benefit of a warehouse is that I can dump the cloth, the grain, the beer, the sugar, the wool, all in a warehouse, and trains coming in, picking the goods they need and transport it back to the cities where it's wanted. That's the benefit. The disadvantage, like I said, is that it's already assigned to a city the moment it leaves. So later in the game, when we got the more complicated goods, because basically we've got everything from the first 2 rows except for milk. Later in the game, when I start working with milk, with vegetables, with fruits, clothing, those are actually the things I may drop in a warehouse. But if I have clothing, it will drop it off and transport it to the cities where it's needed, which means I can produce a lot, but if a city doesn't need clothing, and currently I am still at that point, clay and coal aren't needed. Those are needed for pottery, ceramics. So as long as my city don't have the 50,000 citizens, there's no need for me to drop clothing to start saving clothing in the warehouse. So early game, up to cloth, those goods are required in a city. And as you can see, everything except for wood and meat and sugar is at 100%. I don't need meat. Meat, just like clay and coal, is actually a resource that has no influence at the growth of the city. Livestock, sorry, not meat. So as long as there is no use for me to drop grain, corn, lumber, meat, beer, wool, sugar, and cloth in a warehouse. I'm already supplying the cities with the resources for those and picking up what I need. I mean, currently my cloth is exported to Eindhoven and Groningen. I will do that in a bit, but I will have to. The cloth is transported to Eindhoven, Groningen. The wool is transported to Amsterdam, and I got my lines set up in that way that they actually can drop off wool needed in a city and transport the rest to Eindhoven and Groningen. I will do the same thing here in Brussels. So, grain and beer works the same way. I got the grain being transported to Amsterdam, but I also have beer being transported. So all of that makes it easier. And the same up here. As you can see, grain is okay. Corn needs to go in, but I need to adjust that later because that's corn factory, corn farm, and I'm not going to use this one as I need another complicated track area over there. Wood and meat will be done from the east as well, but I got a full production of beer. There is no need for cloth because I'm not producing any, no need for wool because I got no cloth production, but cloth is brought in. Eindhoven, this grain is actually coming in by car, not by rail car, from Baumgart farm. Don't need meat, don't need wool. The corn from Janssen. The lumber and the meat will be brought later. The sugar by car from the Thibodeau farm and the cloth for Amsterdam. So everything is already covered. City is growing. Amsterdam, not yet. But that's because it's lacking sugar. As soon as it got sugar, things will be going fine. Now we had the quarterly reports. Total income 957. Total expenses 239. So my quarterly result is 770,000. We have been investing a lot. As you can see, 100 freight transporters, 665 passengers, 411 million. 21 goods produced because, if I'm not mistaken, I bought. Oh, wait. Yeah, my production is 9.2, so I bought something. I have to check which one. Stock 49k, Madam Ward 53, and Pajong 47, and Lord Donovan, that's the yellow one up here, actually the best right now. In the end, I will buy them all. We've got lots of years to go. And as you can see, those are stock prices. This is when we build something, they go up. Very hard to deal with those. I can issue bonds if I want, but I don't want to. And I think I've been running from here. That's when we started. Company value 0. And here's when I got money. And that's what we achieved so far. So worth 5 million. Basically, like overview. 5 lines, 5 trains in use. 2 express trains that will double as soon as I start running more complicated routes between Amsterdam and Brussels. Wagons in use that will vary because of the things I'm transporting. No traffic jams yet. 1926 kilometers in route. Overhead lines, that's electricity. Not using them, etc. 11, 1 city building, 1 rural business, 3 cities connected. 4 rural business connected, 63,000 citizens, and production capacity utilization 0. That will go up too. And that's the money. So 178,000 is needed. Next one will be 50,000 cheaper. As you can see, we had something coming in. Eindhoven, cargo train, which did a lot of money, and that's our overview. Still having a positive balance in general. As for research, 5 months, starting from February. So in July I'm doing this, which means this one is getting a little bit more cheap. After that, the next 5 months, so up to December, will take up to December before I can start employ others. And at that point, I will start switching my lines in the mail and passenger service. That's when the money starts rolling in. I also have to get some sort of cash reserve because at some point the AI will very certainly start to bid at things, especially at research. And in a way, I have to make sure I will get ahead of them. Over time, I will be able to catch up on them, even go beyond them, surpassing them. But early game, it's hard. I'm expanding to make money. The AI is, for some reason, able to make money by transporting grain to Leeds, and that's it. They don't have to buy territories, unlike me. This is actually very nice food because they're able to get wood into cities, though this would become very complicated because the train can't make a turn, so it has to go from here to Leeds and then to Budweiser. Now the funny thing is, okay, this works, getting to Leeds, then I'll turn to Budweiser for grain. Basically, it's moving from one beer city to another, and the only thing they get extra here in Leeds is sugar and wood. Later coal. Using a station setup like this, as you can see, it's moving. A lot of wood right now, logs actually. So logs and coal at the same area is very useful because you can use Leeds later for either iron production. We've got the money for the tracks, iron production or pottery, ceramics. So 29 days. Built. Do I have to pick the right one? 78. Because it's only one plate. The reason I'm doing this, and I'm going to do that well stood. I made a mistake. I had to pick the third one, not the second. That. The reason I'm doing this is I want to use, it's something I realized in my private game, and it's something I actually did wrong on the other stations, but I want to use this station as to pick up the sugar, but also to do maintenance. I will add a maintenance shed to this station. If I have the passengers train, the express trains and the cargo trains entering on 4 tracks, I have to connect those 4 tracks, which means that the passenger train actually will often switch tracks to get the shortest route. then go back again, simply to move them. That will also delay my trains somewhat. However, if I want to use full capacity all 8 tracks of this station, then the easiest solution is to actually make sure that I got extra tracks on the outside. So what I'm going to do once I've built this, and once I've set up everything including direction and the grid islands, is starting the route, that's number 1, but I will later add 2 tracks up to the point that I can start a 4-track grid island. When I can do that, I will build it, then remove some of the other tracks. So no, that's one solution, but another solution you can use is actually just split it off and build a 2x2. Well, I did something like that, but I will make sure that I got 4 tracks available. Now, using my fingers, it doesn't show. I got these 4 tracks available for cargo, and these 4 tracks available for express. That means that if a passenger train heading to Eindhoven is needing maintenance, and a passenger train heading to Brussels is needing maintenance, my mail trains, because I will split those up like I said before, my mail trains won't have to stop. They can actually use the 2 other tracks to pass the trains to get things going. That's the plan, and in theory it should work. Of course, this game is often doing strange stuff. I know that from experience. So we'll see if it works. I've got 2 options. Maybe I will use both options. We'll see about that. Here we go. Fine. Because we're driving on the right side of the tracks. Done. So that's the next Amsterdam supply. Cargo. See if it works without going past. Yeah, it does. Done. So that one works. Utilization 41%, so that's number 1. Eindhoven, Janssen, Eindhoven, here we go, Eindhoven. That one is active inch. Ah yeah, heading to Amsterdam. For the time being, there's nothing I can do. And we will, because that one is just going in, all in without actually being part of the whole. Just check. Transportation of goods loading and unloading. And as as you can see, it's 2000 for each rail car. It used to be 4000 in earlier version. I don't know when they actually changed it. If that change happens when they added one of the DLC or actually before, but 4000 rail car was that much money. It was basically absurd. We were making so much money the first year that in the end, yeah, the game wasn't fun anymore. It was too easy. So they cut it in half. Jetpacks now. They cut it income of the rail car in half. I think the income from passengers will cut. I think it's also down to 50%. The game became a lot more fun to play. This is why I put stations. Station. Ah, yeah. Main reason I could exploit passenger stations are that two buildings designated passenger mail. May even put some point in stations with one for passenger, one for mail, and one for cargo. If I do, passengers getting two buildings and a lot of extra income. Loading up. Done. Everything. Yeah. Whoa, I saw this breakdown and what's needing a breakdown? What's having a breakdown? You? Why are they having a breakdown? Ah, that's why. So my first money is actually spent. I can't do that anymore. First money before the passenger is actually spent on this. Suppose I place my train to Amsterdam. That was an elevator station. With this, it will move all the way to that sugar farm. You may as well follow him, because he would go faster. Close to trains is that game time is going. Let's zoom out. Just follow this. Go faster. The further you zoom out, the faster time goes. Yeah, like I was expecting, it's going all the way to the sugar farm. So I won't reach my game goals for today. This one will get maintenance because I set it high. That's also a trade-off choice you have to make. Default setting, 60%. That means trains will ride on for a long time until they hit the 60%, but you will very soon have a chance to get breakdowns, which in turn means delays. Plus the maintenance will take quite some time. Or you set it higher, which means it's done more often. Is that the train heading to Amsterdam? Please follow it. So if I set the maintenance requirements higher, the effect will be that maintenance is done more often, but in shorter time. So it doesn't require that long as high one. And I've currently set my maintenance at 90%. I can drop it back to 80 if I want to. So as soon as this green bar becomes 80%, maintenance will happen. Currently 90, it's 90%. So If it drops a little bit more, as soon as you're doing the next trip, maintenance will happen. I found 90% working very nice, 80% didn't work. I also found that a lot of players actually use more short periods of maintenance as a single long one. Because with a single long one there is this breakdown. Later I will get the option if I have the finances to build maintenance posts, which will make things a little bit easier because we can keep the condition of the locomotives a little bit higher. Disadvantage, they cost a lot of money to use. Sorry. Disadvantage of those maintenance posts is that they will cost a lot of money when you use. So you really have to have stable income. Make sure that you have. So it's something you can use on the high traffic lines, which will eventually get full transport. First, we need to APK. Make sure that the train program gets its maintenance. This don't have enough to 8. Worse, because the train stopped at Red Island, this one can actually stop. No, this. I'm lucky. Because I got a port track Red Island up there, so that means if it stops at the wrong position, breakdown happens at the wrong position, I won't be able to use the entire station. I think the train completely lost it. $5 months. So November, December, because this one is already used up. I said increase the price of locomotive. The first time was 35,000. Now it's 33 to 50. What I'm going to do now is a little trick. It will cost me a little bit of money when I do that. break down again. This is 43% right now. See, this is what I meant. So the cost of bridge construction reduced by 5%, bought for 300, and that's what they have saved already. I think he's got 16,000 in still not enough. Bingo. Finally. Let's set it to 80%. Transfer to all. I'm going to follow him from a distance. Actually see what's going on. I couldn't use this one because there's effect. I didn't get that. I will later add this terminal as well. There's no use for it yet. I think adding the corn is better first. First I want to connect Brussels to even. That's something that's not going to happen in this episode, I'm afraid. Unless I'm able to get a lot more money, and I refuse to lose bonds. Also, my competition is expanding. He's in Rennes. He's got Darmstadt, Gothenburg, and then Jönköping. Well, something like that. There's no need for me to keep rambling on while the train heads out to Asia. When it's at one loan, we'll actually start using it and actually adjust it. Huh? Very good. I will add a second mating station. Even though it doesn't be good for a long time, 45,000 and half of those right now. That's 24%. That's going to take quite some time. Adjust Amsterdam, Groningen, Van Wijk, Groningen. Confirm. Yeah. Turn around. No. Talking about. Getting rain. Moving to Groningen. Amsterdam. Back. Van Wijk, where you do nothing for the time being. Here's the other one. In. Going to pick up rain right now. Because that city is slow. 58% of demand is fulfilled right now. So things are improving very slowly. The train to Groningen is already 5 loaded train. Because all the breakdowns actually a bit slow. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 cars. This one will probably use 8 cars as well. Five, one. Ah, good. I found it. That's why we got the message about having to turn around over here. We got this. So that works now. It was never a problem for him, because that one was only passing through the station. That's a nice number actually. Let's have a look. It's comparing. So an income, the first quarter was 957,000, but out of that was 600,000 bonus, which means my income was actually 347. Second quarter 303, so the difference is actually 47,000. Although it shows at 500,000 here difference, but my income was, yeah, 610 from here, 347, 600,000 from here. That means 107,000. So I gained 110. 70 days of breakdown. That's the number I want to keep as low as possible. How's the rest doing? They're all surpassing me at the moment. I'm not worried about that. Although it is going down a bit, I'm not worried about that. It will get better soon. So, it still shows the same thing, but that one's going better. If I'm not mistaken, I will bring in 16,000 from sugar a bit. Weekly report is negative. Yeah, well, not that bad. The problem I have to deal with is something from the future. That has to do with the cameras. 8,000, that's the train from Groningen with here. You can see things are going better now. That one's going to need maintenance. Some luck, we were able to drop maintenance station Quick fun. Bingo. Oh, nice. I think the one driving behind me is a passenger train, or no, it's a passenger train. I thought a train doing cargo to Eindhoven, but it's a passenger train. Oh, the city is growing. Amsterdam will start growing soon. Of course, the city grows. We also start demanding more goods. So while my trains aren't transporting a full load at the moment from the rural business to the cities or between two cities, because at some point the demand is fulfilled. As soon as a city grows, the demand will go up. So I will transport 8 sugar right now. It's likely that the next trip will be 6 or 7, maybe even less. But because of the sugar, the city starts growing, which also means um, that I will start to transport more sugar again. And at some point, I will even won't even be able to supply the city with all the sugar, which means I have to add a second train to my route. I will add one more stop at some point, and from that point, that's actually it. And if I need something else, I will start adding a new station. Maybe that last stop I want to add won't even be added, but instead becoming part of a new track. We'll see. There's a lot to do, a lot to plan, a lot to be done. Eventually, everything will work out fine. But what's important is this. Currently 50% of my train is built up, making sense because every time it stops at Amsterdam Cargo, it only unloads, it doesn't load. The one to Groningen is actually more effective because it also picks up some cloth up here. And now you can see 100% grain, 100% corn, 100 beer, 100 wool, 20% sugar. So the demand isn't fulfilled yet, but the city will start growing soon enough because that went up. On average, it's already 60% now. 30, 40, and there is the city growth. Which means I can start concentrating on this 79,000. And later on Brussels as well. I will run a similar problem in Brussels as I have over here. Passenger train will get on top, that's the industry. Cargo train will be at the bottom and I have industries here. Passenger train. Lille is having the same problem. Passenger train on the west side. Guess what? Farm is on the right, so cargo train over here. She's getting into the car already. Yeah, I really have to go south first now. Or I'll be screwed big time. Another 78. We're going to see everything next week. For sure. Because I was planning to do somewhat shorter episodes. So thanks for watching. I do hope you've been enjoying it. Let's see what this one is doing when it comes to sugar while I'll do my final rant. But I do hope you've been enjoying it. It wasn't going as well as I hoped to, although it looks like now I've got some growing cities. I start to make more money on passenger service, so that's a good thing. Passenger and mail is increasing, so that's a good thing for sure. As you can see, only free sugar right now. So, I hope to see you next week. I'm wishing you a very good week and stay safe. Goodbye.